Alright, so we're back. So we're underneath here. Remember, we just cleaned up the pan. So now we want to drop the old filter. So you want to carefully wiggle that thing out. And yes, you are going to get oil out of it. Important thing to look at when you pull your filter out, make sure this O-ring is on there. Okay? Because if that gets jammed up inside your transmission when you do this and you go to put the new one on, your filter won't fit. And if you ram it in, you're going to cause damage. So make sure that that O-ring comes out of this here spot. Okay? So that way it'll just make it ease to install the new filter, because that has obviously the O-ring on it, and there's only so much room for that. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna get the filter ready here, and we got our handy dandy Napa transmission filter here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this apart to get the filter out. Naturally, the plastic doesn't come off of the end. Okay, so here we go. Jeez. Alright, so now also remember, there's two styles of this filter. There is the shallow pan, okay, and there's the deep pan. I made the mistake the first time I did this transmission. No one told me that there was a difference, and they gave me one for a deep pan. I ended up having to cut it off. So this time I learned it's for a shallow pan. So this is already shorter, so I won't have to cut this, and it should work with putting the pan on. So now you have your filter. I recommend dipping your finger in your transmission fluid. Okay? Never ever put an O-ring dry in something. Okay? Because there's a good chance it'll rip, it'll buckle, you're going to get a leak of some sort. So I'm going to go ahead, line that up, and carefully, like that. Okay? It's up into place. See, I probably didn't see that, but it's up into place here. I could actually probably back it down a little bit. Okay? Like that. Okay? You want it that it's going to stay in there. You don't want it loose. You'll feel when it's against, okay, because you're going to push on it and it's not going to move. Then you know there's a shoulder machined in there where that O-ring is going to go up against, and it won't let it go in further than that. So you know you're in right. So now the next thing you're ready to do is put the gasket onto your pan, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold it up into place. But I highly recommend take a towel and wipe the gasket surface here on the transmission. Okay, make sure there's no dirt or anything there that could cause a leak, that it won't seal. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pan, and we're going to start putting this together. Alright guys, Biggie, I'm back. So here I have the pan, and I have the gasket just sitting there. I think this gasket that they use actually has like a metal. So let's carefully put this up in place and try and line up. If you can get two of them to line up, at least get it to hold up in place, then you can use an aligning punch to get it started. So go ahead, try and get, and that's easier said than done here. So you're going to have to fiddle around with it a little bit. as you can see, the struggle is real. And just when you think you have one started, you don't. But you can see how it's a struggle. The darn pan gasket moves. It's not really fun. This is one of those things where if you had about 2 more hands, would be great. So now I got one lined up. It's a corner one, so we'll go ahead and start that. Now you don't even want to get them finger tight. Just get some threads on there. Okay. Now you go over here. Preferably, you can put your bolt through, and put your gasket on there, and then go ahead and get some threads on that. And it should help line it up. And then check on how your other, looks like it's pretty lined up. So we can go ahead and start putting these bolts in hand tight. It looks like it went. That's what's nice about that particular kit, the Napa kit. You might pay a little more, but the gasket has a metal, like a center, and it's surrounded, I guess, by a silicone type material. And so when you move it, it's more rigid and sturdy. So when you move it around, it's not going to buckle up and do all that crazy stuff that you get with like a paper or with a cork only gasket, which is nice when you're wrestling a pan, a gasket, and dodging transmission fluid that's dripping at you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the rest of these bolts in, and then we're just going to, tighten it up a little bit and start dumping fluid in. Alright guys, that's it for now. If you're just doing a trans service, you would put the fluid in, depending what size trans, how deep the pan is. I would start with like at least 4 or 5 and just go from there. You want to check your level with it, running in park. That would give you a thing. I'm not going to do it on this video to show the level because of I'm going to put a transmission cooler on, so I'm not going to fill it up to drain all that again. So hope you learned something. Hope this helps out if you want to do a trans service. It's really not that hard, but you are going to get dirty. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and see you next time here on Big E's.